Hello there, YouTube. It was a light week at the comic shop tonight, and I'm getting a lot of glare. There is Tech Jacket number 6, the first of my 4 comics that I got. 3 were on the pull list, 1 was a shelf pickup. Tech Jacket, superhero, Iron Man type stuff, has alien suit in the Invincible universe. I've been picking up Invincible in the oversized editions all these years, so that's not one I buy monthly. It all really depends on what format I start buying it in. And a few years ago, I was buying collected editions, so I've continued to buy that in collected editions. But Tech Jacket is singles. It's a fun story. Give it a look. Next, we have Men of Wrath. Jason Aaron, Ron Garney. Doing a real noir thing here. I picked up issues 1 and 2 a month ago, I guess it is now, because I wanted to check it out, and I found out it was, I think it's like a 4 or 6 issue limited series. So I'm like, you know what? I can buy 4 or 6 issues of something if I like it. Turned out I liked it. It's a story about a criminal, and he's a real bad guy. He's not some hero who's gone wrong. He's a very bad guy, and he's dying, which I think makes him even worse probably in the story, and he's doing something to try and save his son. And I guess that something is shooting someone in a church. I'm not exactly sure. We'll see with this issue, but nice miniseries. Icon, that means it's the Marvel creator-owned stuff that they, I think they throw as a bone to their big-name writers, and not even artists, I don't think. Big-name writers, they like, oh, you got a pet project? Well, right, we'll publish it with no publicity and no money behind it. But I'm glad they do, because this is a nice series. Next, we have Tooth and Claw number 2. Kurt Busiek, Somebody Dewey, Belair, Comic Craft. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever seen the artist in this before. Where is his name? Oops, wrong. Jordy Belair is the Benjamin Dewey. I haven't seen his art before, but he's doing an excellent job in here. Sort of fantasy stuff, anthropomorphic animals, but sort of realistic anthropomorphic animals. I'm not really a fantasy guy, but I very much enjoyed the first issue of this. Kurt Busiek he just does such a solid job all the time. He's an excellent craftsman, so that even if like the subject matter doesn't particularly interest me, like magic using animals, Kurt Busiek does such a nice job writing it that there's a solid chance I'll like it. And this guy who they found to do the art, who, like I said, did as good a job as Kurt Busiek did. He's a good storyteller. Story of, magic in some land, magic's going away, they don't have enough magic, they need more magic, they'll do all sorts of crazy things to get more magic. Like I said, not a story I've seen before, even though I'm not huge into the fantasy genre, but very well done. I'm going to stick with it. We have Pax Americana, Multiversity, Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely. I passed on this week, last week, because I don't really buy any DC comics. I'm not a huge Grant Morrison fan, and I didn't even notice Frank Quitely was on the artwork because I didn't look at it. But I saw it in so many videos, and it intrigued me because it was Frank Quitely artwork. I like him. I like his stuff, just like a lot of people do. Popular artist. And I saw lots of good reviews of this and some bad reviews of this, but the one that made me laugh out loud and actually want to read it was, I wish I could give the person credit for it. I can't remember who said it in one of the videos I watched. Described it as Watchmen fan fiction. And whoops, that's an arrow. And just the idea of Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely doing Watchmen fan fiction tickles my fancy. I'm just like, you know what? It might not even be Watchmen fan fiction in any way, shape, or form, but just the idea that it could be Watchmen fan fiction makes me smile. So, two guys of that caliber doing Watchmen fan fiction. And like I said, it's really even if I don't like it, I have a book that I can put in my Frank Quitely section, so it doesn't matter even if I don't like it, because it's still well drawn. And finally, a little something different tonight. I was just visiting a friend of mine, Greg Schiegel, down in NYC, and he just put out this graphic novel, so it's pretty thick, called Pix, which is an all ages graphic novel about this female superhero, which is pretty neat. I haven't read it yet, but I know Greg, and he's a talented guy. He did a nice job on this, and I think he said it's available in previews right now. It's by Hatter Entertainment as the publisher. And for more Pix stuff, visit pixcomic.com. But let's see if we can read what the heck it's about here. Pix is a superpowered teenager. She wears a costume and uses her powers to help those in need. People call her a hero. Pix says she's half fairy, a fairy princess. In fact, she claims her father rules the fairy kingdom. People call her a weirdo. Hero or weirdo, is Pix the fairy princess she claims to be? Okay. So it's a neat all-ages book. If you got kids, I guess especially girls, because it's a girl superhero, and I guess they aim girl superheroes at teenage girls or tweens or preteens or whatever all those marketing divisions are. But give Pix a look. Like I said, you can go to that website. I'll have to put a link to it. Order it in previews. I'll also have to put a link to, I don't know, Greg does a podcast that's real interesting called Stuff Said, where he interviews people in the comic book business. I think it comes out once a month, and it's about an hour long. I know he's interviewed Dan Slott. He's interviewed Tom Brevoort. He's interviewed our other friend Chris Giarusso. So that's a pretty... I just remembered this. Greg also is the writer on X-Babies, Stars Reborn, that our friend Jacob Jabot drew. So this came out it was a mini-series. I'm sure we all know who these crazy old X-Babies are. It came out a few years ago. Yeah, like I can read that type to see what year. I think Greg also, I remember years ago, he drew a What If, too, in the 90s. He's done other things, too, but I don't remember. But anyway, check out his latest one, Pix, One Weirdest Weekend, if you're in the mood for an all-ages sort of thing. Order from your comic shop through previews. That's what I got this week, so you guys have a good time out there.